I think it's about time we go ahead and supersize this quarter hunt and fill series. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. For those of you following along, this is quarter hunt and fill episode number 3. And it's going to be boxes 35 and 36 on the year. Now, in my last episode, we went ahead and updated the boxes through 34 on the year, and we have found so far from 1932 all the way to 2008, 170 of the 246 quarters in these albums here to the left. Well, I was going to wait and not do the 2009 through 2021s, but recently I acquired a couple of more books. And so because I have the books, it's time to go ahead and add them to this Hunt and Fill series. Now for 2009, there's 12 different quarters because there's 6 different ones. Philadelphia and Denver minted makes 12. From 2010 to 2021, there's 57 designs, 2 different mints, 114 quarters. So we have to find 12 09s and 114 10 through 21s, and that will give us a total of 372 total quarters minted from 1932 to 2021. As we stand right now, we have 170 of them slotted in these left books. And of course, with the 2 boxes in front of me, we're going to be working on the right side. Now, that being said, I will continue to look for the upgrades needed for these, as well as the silver we need for these, because we only have a handful of silver quarters in the books. Now, for those keeping track at home, we do have 14 silver quarters on the year, and I wrote that number there so I wouldn't forget because there's all kinds of numbers. Episode 3, box 35, 14 silvers on the year, you name it. If you are new to the channel or new to the series and you want to start this quarter hunt and fill series from the very beginning, I do have the very first episode linked both down below in the video description as well as pinned up here for your convenience. Now, I will also say that I'm not too fond of this, I guess it's the H.E. Harrison Company book, because even though it has the 09s, they gave me a whole bunch of blank spaces for a whole bunch of other quarters that we don't need. And there's not enough spots in here to actually fill the 2010 through 21s, or I would have used it. So we have a lot of extra spots, but what do? We're going to go ahead and go with it. And then for this National Park Quarters book, I really like it a lot. We've got it segregated by both the Philadelphia mint, and then the other 2 pages are the Denver mints. Now, it didn't have the George Washington because it is the America the Beautiful. So I went ahead and added a spot for the Philadelphia GW and the Denver GW. That way we can complete the 2021 year as well. There's not enough spots for 2022. There's 5 women designs, and so we're not going to do those, and I'm going to keep those separated from this. And when we get the 2022 books starting maybe next year, we'll go ahead and add those in. I know this is a long intro, but I wanted to show you what we're doing, what the mission is, and what this series is about. Again, we're going to continue to do upgrades, look for silver, varieties, foreigns, proofs, you name it. And then, of course, the focus for these 2 boxes will also be on the 09s through 2021s to see how many of those we can get slotted. All right, I'm going to slide these out of the way, and then we'll get to the boxes in just a second. So that was a long intro. Let's go ahead and get to the boxes. This has the holes in the bottom. I saw they were circulated. I popped the top of this one. They're also circulated. Let's go ahead and open this box up right away. We're going to kick it off with this box first. It was the first one I picked up, so I figured it would be first in the search order. And I know it's circulated, and it definitely has a good mix of newer quarter designs and older quarter designs in here. So we're going to get right to it, looking for silver, W's, proofs, foreigns, varieties, and maybe even something to upgrade or add to some of the books. I'll be back if and when we have a find, or I'll give you an update after the first 10 rolls of what we found from 09 through 21. All right, so we're 10 rolls in, no finds yet other than what we're pulling out. These are the nicer Philadelphia state quarters I might check against the album. And then we got the 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20s, and 21 crossing the Delaware and Tuskegee Airmen. So that's what we got so far. I'm going to cull these down to the best of each mint, then put those with the discards, and move on to the next 10 rolls. And I'll bring you back, not when I have them cooled down, but after the next 10 rolls, unless we have a find in the box. All right, we are now 20 rolls in. This back row is the sorted out. There's only one of each year in mint, unless it's just missing it, like I only have two 2010s from the first 10 rolls. And actually, now after 20 rolls, I only have that many of the 09, 10, 11, and 12. These are going to be the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20s that I need to now marry to the back stack to get the best of each year in mint. These are my 2021 crossing the Delawares. I have quite a few Philadelphias in that last 10 rolls, and we still need a Philadelphia 2021 Tuskegee Airman. But let me go ahead and cull through those now, and I'll give you a look at what we have through 20 rolls in this box. So I finished the sort through the first 20 rolls of the box. Obviously, we're missing quite a bit of the earlier years. Remember, we need 10 quarters in every stack. That's 5 different designs. 2 mints, Philadelphia and Denver, so definitely missing some here. We do have 9 2014s, 9 19s, and 9 20s. So we're almost done with those 3 years. We have 7 and 8s on some of the other ones, and then, of course, not many from 09 through 12. We're going to keep going through the sort. That's the best one so far. We've made good progress, but we still have 30 more rolls to look through, and we don't have any finds for the quarter box as far as what I usually look for. Let me continue with the hunt. I'll be back after the next 10 rolls, or if we finally get a find. We have another 10 rolls down. Still no finds for the box, but I have some more sorting to do. I'll go ahead and sort through those, and if we happen to finish any of the years as far as a P&D full set, then I'll bring it back. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next 10 rolls, and I'll bring it back if I have a find before those are done. We finished the sort, and we have 3 years done. The 14s, the 17s, and the 20s. Now, when I say done, I do need some upgrades in them, but at least we have both Philadelphia and Denver mints of the 5 different designs. On top of that, that's the nicer state quarters. That's some from the 70s, the Eaglebacks. And we have finished the crossing the Delaware, Philadelphia and Denver from 2021, but we still need a Tuskegee Airman Philly to fill that up. 20 rolls left. I'll be back with a find or after the next 10 rolls. Well, we're on roll number 39, and I have my first official find, and I'll show you that one in a second, but we got a W quarter. It's not silver, but I'll definitely take a W quarter, and it's a 2020 because it has the V75 privy, and it's going to be a Marsh Billings Rockefeller, and these are ones that I need to find in decent shape. So I'll definitely take that and add it to the board. And then I said I'd give you a look at this coin right here. I have a 2022 Philadelphia Sally Ride quarter, and when I put it under the scope, I did notice we do have that die chip at the corner of the mouth, so definitely we'll take that. That's known as the drooling Washington, or the herpes Washington quarter, if you will, and they sell for about $7 to $10, so I'll definitely take that one. A couple of nice finds in the last set of rolls. One more roll to go, plus this one, and I probably won't give you a peek at the culling. I'll just get it done. That way we can get on to the last 10 rolls of the box, unless I have a find. Well, we finished that first quarter box and we didn't find any silver, so we're stuck at 14 silver quarters on the year through 35 boxes. We did get a drooling Washington quarter, and we did find a W 2020 Marsh Billings Rockefeller, the ones I need. These are potential upgrades for the state quarters, potential upgrades for the Eaglebacks, and these are all the cold through finds from 2009 through 2021. Now, I'll tell you, we did complete the 2014 year, the 2017 year, 1920, and the Crossing Delaware 21s. All the other ones are the best ones we have, and there are needed upgrades. And, of course, the 09s, 10s, 11s, and 12s, the lower mint ones, we're missing quite a few of those. One box down. Another box to go. I've already checked it. It is circulated. I'm going to slide it over and begin the hunt. I don't want to plug these in until I get some better examples and some more examples. We'll do that at the end of the video. Let me go ahead and start hunting this box. I'll be back with my first find or a recap about 25 rolls in of where we stand as far as the 2009 through 21 quarters progress. Roll 15 is going to give us a little minor grease air, the In God We Rust quarter. You can kind of see the T there under the scope, of course, but in hand, it's definitely hard to see it, and it looks like it's In God We Rust. I'll hold on to it. I haven't seen one of these in a while. We'll add it to the board and get back to the hunt. Halfway through the second box, we do have a nice little stack of some quarters that might be able to use or upgrade in the first stacks that we've culled through from the first box. But I'm going to keep hunting. No sense culling through that yet. Maybe I'll have a find soon. Roll 37 in box 2. We have another die chip. 2021 Philadelphia crossing the Delaware under the scope. And you can see it right there. I'm still looking for the full bridged hat with the big die chip. But that's a little bit nicer than the one I usually find. And even though it's in bad shape, still one I'll hold on to. And yes, these quarters are filthy. Well, we have finished the second box of this 2-box quarter hunt and fill episode, and I have a lot of sorting to do. This was the first box best finds. This is the second box finds based on what I believe I needed after the first box. These are the nicer state quarters, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s Eaglebacks that might upgrade. That's the 2021s, and that's the side finds. We had 3 minor errors, and then, of course, a 2020 W Marsh Billings Rockefeller, which I really needed. I know we got silver skunked, but this hunt was mainly about seeing how much progress we can make on the books. I'm going to cull through these now, get them plugged in the books, and come back with a new recap of how we stand on the series after 36 boxes on the year. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back with some final thoughts on the hunt and, of course, a look at the books. All right, that took some time, but we have got all of the culling done, all of the upgrades done, all of the additions added, and the totals on the other side of this sheet. And of course, that's the 4 finds from the 2-box hunt. For sake of time, I'm going to do a lot of cut editing here. I'm going to show you guys the Eaglebacks first, then the state quarters, then the District of Columbia and Territory quarters, and then finally the America the Beautiful or National Park quarters last. Let me go ahead and get that set up, and I'll be right back. All right, the first 2 books are the Eagleback quarters from 1932 all the way to 1998. As you know, we have all of the clad quarters, most of them in pretty good shape. I'm super excited that we were able to upgrade that 1970 that had rust on it from the previous hunt. And there were a total of 6 upgrades in the books for the clads, and that makes me happy. Obviously, most of the missing quarters are going to be the silver quarters, because even though I have found 14 on the year, we only slotted just a handful in the books. There's 146 Eagleback quarters for these 2 albums. We have 70 of them. Now let me move on to the state quarters. The state quarters were minted from 1999 to 2008. There's 100 different quarters because we have 50 different states, a Philadelphia, and a Denver mint. From the hunts I've done, we have all 100 of them. I will say I was able to upgrade 4 additional Philadelphia minted quarters, so we definitely have some nice quarters now. There are a handful ones that still need to be upgraded, but we'll have to keep an eye out for those as we search for the missing silver and some of the other missing quarters from these albums. Now that you've seen the 100 state quarters in their entirety, let me grab the District of Columbia and Territory quarters album next. For the lower minted 2009 District of Columbia and Territories quarters, I only had 7 of the 12. Couldn't find a Philadelphia, Puerto Rico, didn't find any Guams. They are the 2 of the lower minted ones though, and didn't find any of the 09 Virgin Islands, the other lower minted ones. Obviously, I was able to grab the low minted 2009 Mariana Islands, American Samoa, DC, and 1 of the Puerto Ricos, but we have 7 of the 12 quarters from 2009. The final book is the National Park quarters. Obviously, I've added 1 of the 2021 Crossing the Delaware George Washington quarters to it, but I like this book because it's separated by both Denver and Philadelphia mint. As you can see here, we struggle mostly with the Philadelphia side. We're missing 4 from 2010, 2 from 2012, 1 from 2015, 1 from 18, and the 2021 Tuskegee Airmen Philadelphia as well. So missing quite a few from the Philadelphia side. On the Denver side, we got them all but 1. Couldn't find the Hot Springs, Arkansas 2010 Denver. But outside of that, really good progress made on a 2-box hunt. As a matter of fact, there's 114 slots in this book when I've added the 2 GW ones, and we have found 104 of them and some pretty nice ones. There are ones that need to be upgraded, preferably pretty soon because they have a lot of gunk on them, but that's mostly the Philadelphia side. As far as the Denver side, because I'm closer to the Denver mint, I got a lot of nice quarters in here, so I'm pretty excited about that. Really like this book. I think it's a fantastic little collector's piece, and I'm happy that I got it. That being said, let me come back and I'll give you a total wrap up of the hunt, as well as let you know how many of the total quarters we have found through 36 boxes. All right, I've pretty much said everything, but in recap, 70 of the 146 Eagleback quarters, 100 of 100 state quarters, 7 of 12 of the 2009, and 104 out of the 114 America the Beautiful quarters, which gives us 281 out of the 372 quarters minted in this collection. That is through 36 boxes, and through 36 boxes, we're still stuck at 14 silver quarters found year to date because we didn't find any in that 2-box hunt. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 3rd episode of the Quarter Hunt and Fill series. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.